My name is Mary Brown. I'm known as the Boundaries Coach because I specialize in helping women set healthy boundaries so they can have better relationships, so they can get better results in their business, so they can have peace in their lives and practice self care. And I love it. It's the best job in the whole world. And this workshop about boundaries and calendars. So hopefully you're in the right place. Boundaries and calendars today. Yes.
Absolutely.
So the reason why I create this content around boundaries and calendars is because as working women, one of the things that I hear most commonly is the struggle around busyness. Someone asks you how you're doing and you say busy, or we go about our day feeling kind of rushed from one thing to the other. I'll give an example. One time I got a call from my child's school that they needed to be picked up because they had a fever. I said, okay. I hung up the phone, and my next thought literally was, I don't have time for this. And so,
Yep.
guess what I did? At the office for calling me to come get my kid, I was mad at the child for being sick on a day when I didn't have time to take care of them. I was mad at the other parents who sent their kids to school sick. I knew they did.
I did too. Yep.
That's right. I was mad at my partner because every single time someone is sick, somehow my responsibilities need to adjust and not theirs. I was mad at the women who, in my mind, were just staying home waiting for sick kids to take care of and didn't work. So I didn't really show up the way that I, in hindsight, wish I would have. And I couldn't really because I thought I didn't have enough time. So fast forward a few years, I start working on boundaries. I start coaching around boundaries. One of the things that I started noticing was that when people struggle with boundaries, they also struggle with their calendars. I created this workshop and a related coaching program to help women feel good about their calendars. And I based it off of a couple different things. So I always want to give credit where credit's due. There is a program called Monday Hour One that is taught at the Life Coach School, who teach all of their coaches to manage their time and manage their brains at the same time while they're managing their time. And I created a pilot program where I got kind of 8 women together, and we get together on Mondays, every Monday at 10 o'clock, and we use these tools and I coach them through it. And they are consistently reporting that they have 10 to 20 hours per week since they started doing this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just have to share this with more people. So anyways, we're going to do a little preview of boundaries and calendars and see what you guys think about it. So I always want to start with mindset. If there's nothing else that you hear from me today, this is your takeaway. You are valuable. You don't have to do anything to earn your value because you were born valuable. You are just as valuable as every other person living on earth. Your time is just as valuable as every other person living on earth. And your value can never change. The days where you're being super productive and getting everything done and knocking things off your list, you are valuable. And the days where you had a bunch of appointments and high hopes and you didn't meet it, you're still valuable. And the days where you don't have anything on your calendar, you're still valuable. We aren't going to hustle for our worth here, okay? Because you're already valuable. You get to choose how to spend your time. This is the next mindset shift. I want to make sure we all understand we get to choose how we spend our time. And I want to spend my time for reasons that I like. I want to spend my time because I enjoy the things that I'm doing. I want to spend my time connecting with people that I love and trust. I want to spend my time providing value to the women that I'm coaching. I want to spend my time connecting with nature or with a higher purpose. I want to spend my time living within my integrity and my values for reasons that I like. You get to decide what those reasons are for you. I want you to think more about spending your time for reasons that you like, whatever those reasons are that resonate with you. How we build confidence is by making and keeping commitments to ourselves. Sometimes we think that confidence is just like a character quality that some people have and some people don't. BS. That's not true at all. Confidence is a skill that we develop over time. We make a commitment, we keep the commitment, we learn to trust ourselves. We make another commitment, we keep that commitment, and we learn to trust ourselves. And then we make a commitment and we keep a commitment and we learn to trust ourselves. Right? So I build confidence in myself as I accomplish the things that I say I'm going to do. I get a call from the school that says your kiddo has a fever, then I want to be able to say, I love this kid so much. I'm going to change what I have scheduled today. And I'm going to show up with love and sit on the couch next to him and feel good about it. I have all the time that I need. I used to think I didn't have enough time. Ain't nobody got time for that. You guys know that silly meme with that lady Sweet Brown and she's like, ain't nobody got time for that. That's not true. I have all the time that I need. And I believe I have all the time that I need. The reason I believe that is because I practice believing it, and it's actually true now for me. And it can be true for you too. All of these things are possible, and these are mindset shifts that you can choose to work towards and choose to believe. Of the ones we've talked about so far, is any of this standing out to you? I'd love to hear what's resonating.
I have all the time I need. I don't think I've ever said that before in my life.
Yeah, but what if you do? What if you have all the time you need?
True. True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would be different if we believed that?
I would be less overwhelmed 100% of the time.
Yeah. It's possible. It's so interesting, the parallel between budgeting for dollars and budgeting for time, right? So I tell my clients that time is the currency of your life. If you live in the United States, the currency is the dollar, right? You live in terms of time, the minute is the same as the dollar, right? And so essentially when we're looking
Time is
at,
money.
yeah, time is money and money is time. When we're looking at creating a results-based calendar, it's similar to creating a budget where you tell your dollars where to go. And then you spend your dollars and your time on the things that you want, that resonate with you, that are in alignment with your values.
I was just gonna say the whole I have plenty of time. I used to have a sticky, oh, I still have it. It's right here. I just haven't looked at it because I have plenty of time for my priorities.
There you go. Yeah. I tell myself I have exactly the right amount of time today. Yeah. It really helps, like if we get stuck at the train where we live in where I live in Fort Collins. There's a train. I don't know what it's doing, but it seems like it's going back and forth on that train track like 18 times back and forth, right? So I'm like, oh, I have exactly the right amount of time for what I need today. Let's talk practically. These are mindset kind of thoughts, shifts that so far we've talked about mindset things, and I would love for you to choose one of the ones that I've offered to you or one that's resonating with you individually and like Mandy did, like write it somewhere, put it on a Post-it note on your computer screen. My favorite thing to do is to get a dry erase marker and write it on the mirror in my bathroom. So when I'm brushing my teeth and blow drying my hair, I have all the time that I need, right? I'm getting ready in the morning and I know I'm going to see it. I have all the time that I need. You got one that's resonating with you? You want to practice this week? Everybody's got one? Okay. Now I'm going to do kind of practical implementation. So usually I do this with folks on Monday morning and we calendar our full week because it's Wednesday afternoon and because this is kind of workshop style and new. I think maybe what we could do is maybe just do the rest of the week. So you just have 2 days, Thursday, Friday, the rest of the work week, or we could go into the weekend, whatever works best for you. But I want to give you kind of a preview and demonstration of how boundaries with your calendars would look. Sound good? Okay, so this is real time. Get out your calendar. You're going to need a blank piece of paper or something you can take notes on. It can be a note on your phone. It can be a Word document on your computer. It can be a blank, like a notebook, a blank piece of paper, and your calendar, whatever you use. Do you guys use Google Calendar or Outlook, or do you have a paper calendar? Does everybody have something they're currently using?
And
Okay.
both, all three.
All right. So first question, when are your sleeping hours? This is 10 questions, 10 steps to creating a results-based calendar. When are your sleeping hours?
I love that this is your priority, number one, like
Thank you.
sleep. And I'm like, for my mental health and just my lifestyle in general, I need to go to bed at the same time every night. Like it just makes my life so much easier. It makes a big difference.
It really does. It really
So
does. And you'd
silly.
be surprised, working women, the amount of sleep that they get in general, our brains can't function.
Mm-hmm.
You really can't think straight if you're not sleeping well.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to think about with this question, when I am functioning as my best self, what are my sleeping hours? Like how many hours do I need? What time do I need to go to bed? What time do I need to wake up? Right? So I usually have 10 to 6, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay. Now in the summertime, my kids are out of school and like the daylight's a little different, right? I will sometimes do like 10:30 to 6:30, 11 to 7. Even if I'm not actually asleep, I'm in my room by myself without electronics. Or what's that?
That part.
Electronics.
But what do I do instead of doom scrolling?
It's
Kidding.
number 2, how full or open do I prefer my calendar to be? So you get to decide. Do you like to have like an appointment every hour? Do you like to have kind of chunks of time blocks? When you are functioning as your best self, what does that look like? I used to be a supervisor for child protection, and our calendars were literally 15-minute blocks all day, every day. So I get to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it would start at 8 o'clock in the morning, like literally 15 minutes like this. 15 minutes, decision-making about kids and families, 15 minutes all day long. What I choose to do now is, if I work 8 hours a day, I have 6 of them scheduled, and I have 2 hours of flex. The reason I like that is because I spend 5 hours a day coaching. I spend 1 hour a day business building, communication, stuff like that, right? And then I have 2 hours where I can do things like move someone around if they need a same day call, or I can write content, I can do billing, I can all those kinds of things. So you get to decide how full or open you like your calendar to be. Number 3, make a commitment to make all of your calendar decisions during a specific time. I recommend 1 hour Monday morning or 1 hour Sunday night or whatever is the Monday morning for you. If you have an adjusted work schedule, does that make sense? But Monday morning, 1 hour, when you're actually thinking out of all the good parts of your frontal cortex, is the best time to make your decisions. You give yourself permission. I'm the one who gets to decide, and I'm going to make my decisions during this time. So you don't have to get up every morning and plan your next day. You don't have to just see how the morning goes and then plan your afternoon. You spend 1 hour a day, all of your energy for decision making around your calendar during that time. It's totally doable. Number 4, here we go. I want you guys to actually do this. I'm going to give you a timer for 5 minutes, and on a piece of paper, I want you to just brain dump your whole to-do list. And
In
we'll
5
just,
minutes.
yes, as fast as possible. Just for the rest of this week. If you got to Friday at 4 o'clock, what all do you want to get done by then? 2 days. You can do it. I'm going to put a timer on. This is the fun part, guys. I'll do it with you. You can put all the work things, all the personal things, anything that's in your head, anything that you're thinking about, go ahead and get it on paper. Thirty more seconds. All right, checking in. You guys need more time? Are you ready to do something with this list? Raise your hand if you need more time. 5 minutes. Wow, good job. I love it. All right. So now that we have our long list, I want you to go through this list and we're going to decide which of these things you want to do, which things you want to delegate, and which of these things we can just ditch. So ditch it, do it, delegate it. I give you permission to cross something off your list and not do it. Just decide you don't want to do that. I give you permission to think about who else might be able to do these things. And we're going to take just a minute to go through the list and decide, ditch it, do it, delegate it.
When you say ditch it, does that mean like altogether or push it to a different week?
Totally up to you. Sometimes we just need permission not to do something that we're in the habit of doing. Right? And sometimes we need permission to decide it's not going to happen this week. Sometimes if there are ones I'm going to ditch, I just put a line through them. If there's ones I'm going to delegate, I might go ahead and send a quick text message to someone. Now, I want you to go through the list again. And for the ones that you want to do, I want you to give yourself an amount of time to accomplish that. Be generous with your amounts of time. For example, grocery shopping. I give myself 3 hours for grocery shopping.
Oof.
I make a list. I go over there. I shop for an hour. I come home. I put it away. I get things prepped because I don't want to rush. So I give myself 3 hours a week for grocery shopping. Estimating time also gets better with practice. So
That is one of the things that I struggle with often is like, how much time do I spend? How long will this actually take me?
it just gets better with time as you practice. You'll get a better sense of how long things take you. Because I thought it was only going to take me an hour to grocery shop at first. And then I was like, oh, the whole process, it takes 3 hours. Because you plan it and you go get it and you bring it back and all the
And
things.
absolutely, I don't like being rushed.
Next, we're going to schedule our self-care. So get your calendar out, friends, and start scheduling self-care. Let me give a little lesson about self-care. Self-care is anything that you do that connects you to yourself, to people you love and trust, or to something bigger than yourself. So self-care might be connecting to your body through exercise. Self-care might be going on a date with your partner. Self-care might be meeting a friend for lunch. Self-care might be volunteering in a community service organization that you feel passionate about, or going for a walk in nature. Self-care might be journaling, meditating, coaching, creating. I recommend that everyone has at least an hour a day of self-care so that when times get hard, you can double that down. So schedule your self-care on your calendar next. Anybody know why we schedule self-care first?
We need to take care of us so we can take care of others.
Yeah. And if you are trying to fill self-care in the cracks, guess what will happen? It doesn't happen. You will never find time if you're trying to find time for self-care. Anybody been doing that? I did that for a long time. You're like, okay, so if I work and get all of these things done and then take care of everybody else, then maybe I'll earn some time for myself. No,
Mhm.
it's the opposite. Okay, so schedule your self-care first. Next, you want to be scheduling your focus time. So when is your brain at its best? Who likes to think better in the morning? Who likes to think better evening? How long can you focus at once?
Definitely a morning.
Do you like to have like an hour a day for focus time? Do you like to have like 3-hour chunks twice a week for focus time?
What are we doing during focus time? Is this like our
Whatever
work that we're
requires the
doing?
most focus. So what I do during my focus time are I do like curriculum, content, billing takes some focus time for me. Program development stuff takes focus time for me. Sometimes focus time is things like finding a summer camp for my kid. That's a lot of mental energy for me.
Yeah. Any luck with that?
Deciding what's for dinner takes that focus because they have to eat every day. Why do they have to eat
I know.
every day?
Every day,
every
I
single day,
just fed you.
right? Just yesterday I had
bottomless
this
pit.
conversation.
And 7 times a day in the summer.
And if you have a teenage boy, they eat 24/7, like ridiculous.
Yes.
For example, I do physical therapy Tuesday, Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. You have appointments that happen at a specific time, make sure those are on your calendar. That's number 8.
Oh, I stopped at 4.
I'll review them real quick. 1, what are your sleeping hours? 2, how full or open do you like your calendar to be? 3, make a commitment to make all your decisions during 1 hour. 4, write all the things on your to-do list down. 5, choose ditch it, do it, or delegate it. 6, decide how much time you want for each. 7, schedule self-care and focus time. 8, schedule the appointments that happen at specific times. I'll give you guys a worksheet. And number 9 is schedule the appointments with yourself for the rest of your tasks. Now, this is where your boundaries are going to come in. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where most people fall flat. I would like you to think about the results that you want to achieve and make appointments. I'm going to give you some examples. For example is register Eliza for swimming. submit episode 63 and 64 of your podcast. So this is where you might have to make some difficult decisions. And when we say yes to something, then we are inherently saying no to something else. When we say no to something, we are saying yes to something else. So this is where you get to make decisions about what is important to you, what your priorities are, how you want to spend your time. If you have more things on your list than you have time for on your calendar, guess what? You get to practice saying no. This is where the budgeting comes in, right? Have you ever done a budget and you're like, oh yeah, I want to do this and I want to do that, and then I want to this, and then I want cable, and then I want to go on vacation, and the math doesn't work. So the same kinds of things happen with our calendars. What are your questions?
Is this where like time blocking for like client appointments and stuff like that would kind of go on the calendar?
Yes. So I have time blocks for clients for sure, because I use a calendar link, like an Acuity link. So I just have like coaching calls, blocks of time for coaching calls. And I coach 20 hours a week. So 4 days, 5 hours. And if I don't have a client in there, right, then I do networking, lead generation, finding client activities, which is how I built the 6-figure business, was because I was like, I'm going to have income generating activities 20 hours a week. If I don't have income generating activities 20 hours a week, then I'm going to do whatever the next thing I can do to get that filled with an income generating hour. The time blocking does help because it helps me to know like how much of my time I want to spend in my business versus on my business. And if I don't have an appointment with a person, right, then I have a list of things that I will do instead. Other questions?
Well, you actually, right when I was pulled away, you were going over appointments with yourself, setting appointments with yourself.
Mhm. Yes, you take your to-do list and you turn it into appointments with yourself.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay,
and then we're gonna make and keep these appointments with myself.
Okay. How do you do that?
Lots of boundaries, lots of accountability, lots of coaching. But it is possible. The good news is it is possible.
Mhm.
You build confidence over time as you make and keep those commitments to yourself.
Mhm.
All right. You guys need another minute for this?
I'm having a hard time compartmentalizing it all. Like,
Thanks.
I think that's where my brain is going because I'm such a
Okay.
compartmentalized person. But I have like, my daughter's planning a wedding in September. So we've got all the wedding stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then I work from home and I'm a business owner. So I've got all that. But yet, you know, the toilets still need to be cleaned and the floors still need to be done, you know. And so, yes, I delegate a lot of that. However, the kids in the hubs aren't always home very often because they also work very hard too. So it's that whole, how do I do that? You know, how do you make out wedding invitations and do your billing for your business while you're doing laundry? And, you know, that shift piece, I guess, is my, like, there's a lot of focus things, but I'm such a compartmentalized person. I like to have, like, today I'm working on the wedding. Tomorrow I'm
Yeah.
working all day on the business. Do you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because you shift those hats and I get in those different moods. And
Yeah, let
does
me
that make
just-
sense?
Yeah, let me just help you with that. So
Mhm.
what are your working hours?
From the time I wake up till the time I can sleep.
No.
That is what is my current working hours. Honestly, probably maybe not till I go to sleep, but till dinner happens. Like literally till my husband comes home and dinner happens. We have a little download, and if there's anything that I haven't done for the day, I might finish it up real quick, and then, you know, then we I'm done for the day for the most part, but I always end the day feeling like, there's more I needed to do and I didn't get as much done on my list. And now it's just this avalanche of my to-do list is rolling over to tomorrow. And, today I did a lot of great things, but I was running errands and on a
Still
lot
feel
of different
behind.
connections and stuff. Yeah. And so he's going to be home any minute. And I'm like, shit, I wanted to get these 15 other things done. Well, I can do it tomorrow. Well, no, just that avalanche of all of it.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, which is
Mhm.
why this is going to be so helpful to you. So you first get to decide what hours do you work on your business? Like what days and times do you work on your business?
Okay. That's easy to do in the summer. I'm also a substitute teacher because my business isn't bringing home like an income yet. So that's my actual income. And the substitute teacher piece is hard because it's one of those variables. You don't ever know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When that's happening, even though I try real hard to structure that and be like, okay, I'm only subbing on Tuesdays and Fridays. Then I have this wonderful teacher who'll be like, hey, I need you on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in my favorite class. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that. And then I'm trying to shove everything into the other two because I didn't say no,
Yeah.
basically, is what
Yeah.
that amounts to.
Yeah, I can help you with all that. But the first thing is you have to be intentional about your decision, right? So if you really only want to be available for subbing on Tuesdays and Fridays, then you make a commitment that you're only available to sub on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Gotcha.
And then you practice saying no.
Mm-hmm.
If you're only available to build your business on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, then you're only available to build your business on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're only available to spend time with your family at 6 o'clock, then you're only available to spend time with your family at 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
There's
that
not a
makes
right
sense.
or wrong. You just get to decide.
Gotcha.
But you practice saying no and honoring the decisions that you make. Like that, you just have to practice following through.
The honoring piece, I think, is a big thing because there's this, I sub because I love it. I love the kids, but I sub because it's my income. But if I had to choose, I would work on my business 5 days a week because it's what I'm passionate about. It's what I want to build. And I'm the only person. So when I don't show up to the business, I don't show up to the work. There's nobody working on that for the day, but subbing is generating an income for me. And so there's that guilt in both sides. I'm not giving my time to the business, so it's not building, it's not growing. But yet, wait, I need the income, so I need to be in the building, and so it's that, I think a lot of it is that mind shift of honoring the decision, whatever decision it is I'm making, just sticking to it and honoring it.
Yeah. And that just takes practice,
Mm.
which is good news.
Yeah.
Because anyone can learn it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. We have 5 minutes. Any last questions?
What was number 10?
Oh, number 10. Throw away your
Oh.
to-do list.
I didn't know if I missed it.
Oh my gosh,
Do
Amanda.
what?
What is happening? Throw away your to-do list.
What?
This
Throw
is
away
the best
what?
part. Let me show you mine. Throw it away. Because guess why? Make a commitment to follow your calendar, and everything you need to know, you have appointments for, and you're just going to follow what your calendar says. You don't need a to-do list anymore. You can do it again on Monday.
Oh, that's like revolutionary.
There's no rolling nothing in your head. Because the real gift of this type of calendaring system is that you don't have to think about your to-do list anymore.
Mm.
Because when someone says to me, hey, Mary, when are you going to get that done? I say, tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And I don't have to think about it anymore. And when tomorrow at 3 o'clock comes and I'm filming a pod, I probably don't want to feel like doing it then. But guess what? When I made my calendar on Monday morning, I did want to do it for a reason that I liked. And so I'm going to allow myself to feel some resistance because that's how I get the results that I want. And I know I have self-care the next hour.
Mm.
So I can get through the hard things because I have self-care already scheduled on my calendar.
Okay, that's a truth bomb right there.
And I don't have to think about what I'm gonna do anymore. So I just know I'm gonna do it, and I've learned to trust myself. So people will be like, Mom, we're out of food. We don't have anything to eat in here. And I'll be like, good news. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, I go grocery shopping.
And at 5, you're making your own dinner because I just delegated that to you.
Yeah, right?
That's right.
Boundaries.
And I'm not staying up late trying to meet a deadline because I know what time I go to bed.
Yeah, that's a thing too. Like I could potentially stay up all night just working on the business, just working on anything, even, something creative. But I know that if I do that tomorrow, I'm gonna hate myself.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
So this
Awful.
is actually very much about loving ourselves and getting ourselves to a place where we actually love our calendar and we can enjoy the time that we are spending in our businesses or in our work. And we can actually enjoy the people that we love and that we can practice self-care. Take practice, but it works.
This is good stuff. This is
Good stuff. Okay, so we're at time. I do want to invite you, if you're interested in joining Boundaries and Calendars, we meet Monday mornings, 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. It's a new offering. I did a pilot group and they got such great results. They were like, we want to keep doing this. And I was like, okay, but we probably can invite some more people. So right now, introductory price is $95 a month. Or $9.95 for a year. I do want to be open and honest that it takes a few months to get into the hang of it. I also give a money back guarantee. I mean, if you come to 2 meetings and you're like, I'm not shifting, I'm not saving time, 100% I'll give you your money back. Because I feel that confident that it's going to get you good results. And I'm available to hang out for a couple minutes if you guys have questions, but I do want to really thank you for coming to this workshop, for your interest, for trusting me, for the fun attitude we've had tonight. That's the other thing. Calendars can be fun, guys. This is how we get to do the things that we want to do.
Thank you, Mary, for doing this. This was good.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
See you later,
Yeah.
Mandy. Thank
Bye,
you.
Mandy. See you later. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you again, Mary. I appreciate it.
welcome.
Nice to meet you,
Yep,
ladies.
thank you, Mary.
Nice to meet
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
You are welcome.